I don't know. Lit Motors we're watching.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Aussie Ideas Man. I'm convalescing. I can't move much at all, so it's a good time to make more videos. I can spend ages just taking out the pregnant pauses that I make when I speak. As I've said, in normal conversation I don't do it, but when I'm staring at a laptop it's an entirely different proposition. And I'm a bit slow, but I don't like to write scripts. I like to just say things right from the top of my head. I don't know which is quicker, writing a script or cutting out the pregnant pauses that I keep making because I haven't got something to read. This time it's Drive the Lightning's turn. That's what DTL stands for, if you don't already know. And this person, Chad, might have been Sarah, but in either case, this site has blocked me ages ago, and for trivial things like saying somebody's gullible or they're not too bright. Now, I'm a realist and I don't subscribe to what YouTube seems to think, that everybody's got high intelligence. I believe in facts, and I believe that the human race is at very opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to intelligence. So you can get genius and you can get moron and everything in between. Everything in between. All levels. So when I evaluate DTL's report on APTERA, they did 3 startups, but I'm not interested in the first 2. Their number 1 startup, APTERA, at this stage when they report on it, they should have better information than they give, far better information than they give. So what I'm saying is that you're getting a low-level report here, a very low-level report. But true to form, I don't just make these claims, I run through what they say and explain each time I think you should be getting better. The not that far behind Hillbilly Bill is just my assessment of their intelligence quotient. I think, well, when I say not that far behind, I really should say that not that far ahead. They're a little smarter. So here we go.
And the last one, and not least, but our number one electric vehicle that we've been watching for years. If you've listened to us before, you already know this. APTERA Motors. APTERA, the solar charged electric vehicle.
Yes.
And we've had the privilege to tour the factory, meet the founder. We've
Ride
had a
in
chance to take a
Gamma.
ride in the
Not Gamma.
the
We rode
Alpha
in
prototype.
Alpha prototype.
And it's just a really cool vehicle because of so many reasons. One, it's solar charged.
Let's just make a first stop there. They said they visited the factory. Unfortunately, more than 3 years after they've had this factory, they should be saying that it isn't much of a factory still, that there is no production line equipment ready to build the APTERA. I don't think it's very honest to be saying we've visited a factory when what they visited was pretty much an empty warehouse. It might have been honest if they'd just started up 6 months ago, but not 4 years ago. And of course, Sarah says we rode in the Gamma and quickly corrects herself because it was the Alpha.
Yep.
So it's panels all the way over it that can get you up to. Now it's up to because it depends on where you live and
How
further,
much sun you get.
Yeah, we need further testing to prove it. But we're thinking because of the efficiency up to 40 miles in one day of EV energy just from the sun, which is pretty impressive.
Okay, so they're still passing on the snake oil that they've been given, even though they admit that there's never been any proof. It's a long time waiting for proof, but they don't tell you that.
Pretty significant.
And you can only get that because of the weight and the shape. So if you've ever
Right.
seen this thing, it's shaped like a
Hyper
dolphin
efficient, yes.
out of the water. It's not a normal vehicle by any stretch of
Well,
the imagination.
It's also shaped like a dolphin in the water because the dolphin tends to be, you know,
They don't lose their
the shape,
right.
of a dolphin.
But it's out of the water.
Well, like when it arcs up and dives
Yeah.
out of the water, I
Okay.
think. I don't know.
I can imagine these two arguing about nothing most of the day, every day. He just is like a dolphin out of the water, and she has to remind him that it's also a dolphin in the water. It's a bit funny, but it's an indication of what these people are like in real life. I know they foster being super nice on their site, but I've just got a feeling that it doesn't carry to in the home every day.
But they designed it that way. It's like, what is the most aerodynamic shape in the universe? And this is what it is.
Yep.
There's a reminder here that they really didn't design it at all. They modified a design by Professor Morelli back in the mid-70s, but over the years they've never really acknowledged the original designer. They like to ignite themselves as much as possible. Chad and Sarah know that Morelli designed it, but again, they don't care about telling anybody the real facts.
And then, like, how do we make it as light as we can? Well, let's use composite. So it's carbon fiber composite material for the underpan and the body. And then how can we make it less friction? Well, let's take a wheel away. Let's make a three-wheeler. Then you got less rubber hitting the road, literally. And then less friction also as well.
Right.
And then let's make it as safe as possible. So the crush test strength on this surpasses any vehicle on the road last time they tested it.
The last time they tested it was before 2011. Looking at 13 years ago with a different prototype and a stronger material than what is being used now. Yet they continue to make this claim. It's dishonest, actually, to make the claim. They know that the last time they tested it was with a honeycomb composite material, and it was the APTERA 2E prior to folding in 2011. They know that, but they're not letting you know that. They want you to think that it's been tested and is the strongest ever, and that's all they care about. That's the sort of dishonesty that I don't like. I expect when a product is being presented, it should be presented in its proper light, currently, and no other way.
Very unlikely that a T-Rex could crush it in its jaws, even though they have very powerful jaws. No, I don't think it could.
And also, let's give it airbags, even though it's not required to have airbags because it's technically an auto cycle.
Right.
But let's go ahead and give it airbags.
It is devoid of side airbags, and the bar in the door is insufficient to be safe. Only having frontal airbags is just not good enough. It's not very safe. There are many other reasons why this machine is unsafe, but I won't go into it. The point I'm making is they don't say enough about safety.
So they've done all these things to make it safe, comfortable. We sat in the latest one. It's called the Gamma prototype, and it's super comfortable. Everything's accessible, more leg room than you need. Lots of
huge
cargo room in the
space.
back.
Yep.
Just a really cool vehicle. So what's been up with them lately? They've raised over $100 million in just under 2 years, which is really impressive.
Very impressive.
All crowdfunding.
No, it wasn't impressive. Their goal was to do it in about 3 months, and they failed that goal miserably.
Which is, and now they're still raising money. They went to the United Arab Emirates.
Once again, they put a positive spin by not telling you much and not giving you the current situation. In the latest SEC filing, you'll find that they are almost broke, that they barely have enough money to last a few months. But that sort of news they don't want to give you.
To show it off there, driving around a Formula One track a little bit, let some people ride in it, touch it, see it for themselves.
On this matter, they failed to mention that Gamma didn't even get to the DriftX exhibition. It managed to go onto a racetrack, and they failed to mention how a 200 plus miles per hour racetrack was driven at under 60 miles per hour, and they wouldn't give a reason why.
And then they've expanded that way by setting up a special, what do you call it, a crowdfunding campaign where those folks, if they want to invest X amount, they can get one of 53, I think it is.
Yeah.
That'll be made just for that area.
It's their exclusive accelerator program for their area.
It'll be designed and it'll have a special color just for the UAE.
There are lots of things that they leave out, and they are just giving this little positive spin in the simplest way because their audience are also gullible fools, and they know their audience. Okay, the original accelerator program was a spreadsheet on their website. I haven't bothered to look at the website, but it'd be interesting to see if there is a spreadsheet and how well it's going. I've got a feeling there's nothing, and I've got a feeling it's not going well. Once again, just a positive spin on something in the background. In reality, when current facts are considered, it's not that good.
And yes, Sarah mentioned the accelerator program. They did something like that for everybody else too, where you could accelerate the production by investing. Investing.
That's a good Freudian slip because that's what most people will be doing. They'll be donating, not investing. And many actually admit to that. They say, well, I'm putting in only what I expect to happily donate.
Up to $10,000 or more, and you could get one of the first 2,000 to come off the line. So that filled up pretty quickly.
That's what filled up in 2 years. That was supposed to last under 3 months. Once again, this is deception. These people talk about being nice to people, but I think it's more important to be honest to people. and they fail miserably in this point. They are spinning what really are close to being lies now. There's no way you can say that 19 months to complete a 3-month project is pretty quickly. So these people are insisting other people be nice on their comments, and yet they're deceiving you.
Yep.
And they raised that money, and now they're raising this money in the UAE. So we're watching APTERA very closely. As we know, many who listen to us, you're watching that too.
Yes, and we're hoping to be watching APTERA extremely close up by visiting California.
Yeah, or from my driveway.
Well, first by visiting California, because we're probably going to do that before it gets to our driveway.
In California, but it's really nice seeing it in our driveway.
It will be nice seeing it in our driveway.
That's when we're
first
buying.
one, then the other.
You can almost see the argument starting. And if they get that close in front of 2 microphones, I can imagine what they're like across the kitchen table or watching TV. I think these people do a bit of bickering.
Yeah, so Fisker, Lit Motors, and APTERA Motors are the 3 EV startups that we are staring at.
Yes,
every
interesting upstarts.
Another Freudian slip, upstarts. I could say literally upstarts. Yeah, there's a big difference between startup and upstart.
Yep.
Up and coming starter engines. I don't know.
Okay. Chancellor, Drive the Lightning, thank you for being here for this episode. We thoroughly appreciate it.
Yes.
And we'll see you soon.
I do love the owl look that Chad has because of the, 1 or maybe 2 backlights that they use. Well, that's all for me. Bye for now. Stay safe.